differences to modify and interpret and so on? And would it not lead to extreme fluidity and misjudgment and misdirection?
Well, you mean the relationship of this, the idea of the finality of the Prophet Islam with the issue of pluralism, you mean? Actually, I mentioned it. Since the idea of the truth of religions is not involved here, and also we only think about the validity of religion, therefore a Muslim can hold to the belief that his prophet was the seal of the prophets and was the final prophet. Nevertheless, he can think pluralistically in the field of religion, because it is based not on the truth but on the validity of religions. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, this gentleman first, and then you.
You say that it is possible for different valid religions to coexist and people follow. Is it also desirable? That's question number one. And question number two is, in a religious society that you said, where do the atheists, somebody who doesn't believe in humanity?
Well, it is desirable, yes. As to the first question, it is desirable, yes, because diversity is the order of nature. Diversity is the order of nature. If you ask me, is it desirable for different cultures to stay different as they are, or is it desirable to reduce all of them into one single culture? I would definitely say that the plurality of cultures, the diversity of cultures is very, very desirable indeed, and it is actually one of the main. It is in the nature of the human beings to be diverse. Therefore, it is no good to reduce them into one particular nature. So it is desirable, and in a sense, it is not only desirable for us. I think it has been desirable even in the eyes of God Himself. And that is what I said, that He sent different prophets, and He already knew that the followers of these different prophets will never convert to one single religion. Therefore, I mean, this diversity is altogether desirable. Of course, if somebody comes to the conclusion that his religion is no longer valid, then it is his duty to convert. But it is a fact of history, as I said, that the bulk of the followers of the religions have stayed, I mean, as they have been since their birth, and they have not changed their religion. So there is a tendency, there is a stubbornness in all human beings to stay as they are, except for a few number of them. Now, as to the second question, atheists, of course, have got their own place in a religious society. It depends on the legislations, on the regulations, on the rules of religions. So far, of course, this has been the idea, not only in Islam but also in Christianity, in Judaism and elsewhere, that non-believers have got no place in the religious society, be it Christian or Muslim or whatever. And this was, familiar to all. But in the modern time, the issue of the human rights has become so important, so prominent, that it is no longer considered as the duty of believers to believe in something, but it is now it is the right of the believers to believe in something. You know, we have come a very long way from duty to rights. Usually in the past, it was the dominant idea that it was the duty of the believers to be believers. But now the idea is this: it is the right of the believers to be believers. And since it is the right of the believers, somebody might not fulfill his right. Now he might stay as an atheist. So in a particular religious society with a pluralistic way of thinking, they should and they will tolerate atheists and non-believers. Yeah.
I would like to ask two questions from the chair, and that is, first of all, I must say that I don't speak Persian, but I will note one quotation. How do you fit this couplet between the two polarities, positive and negative? Second question. very good one about the politics, relationship of politics with the society or nation states. My own experience tells me that the definition of politics in the modern times is something like this. What an oddity politics is indeed. What an oddity politics is indeed. A cocktail of kufra indeed. One is the first indeed, one word, the last one indeed, two words. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, as to the first couplet you mentioned, I do not see any relationship between that and the pluralism which we were discussing here. That only says that the Masnavi of Mawlavi is like Quran, but it is a Persian Quran rather than an Arabic Quran. That is the meaning of that couplet. This, of course, demonstrates the eminence and the prominence of the book of Rumi, not only for us Iranians, Persians, but also for the people in the subcontinent of India. And supposedly this verse belongs to Iqbal al-Lahuri. Of course, he was one of the main followers of Rumi. He respected him a lot and he learned a lot from him. So he says that Rumi's Masnavi is like Quran, but it is of course a Quran in Persian language rather than in Arabic. So yes, of course. Therefore, if you take Masnavi as Quran, you can base your ideas on it, and you can be sure that the followers of Quran and also followers of Rumi will accept your ideas. As to the second thing, well, this is your observation on politics. I do not quarrel with you, but I am sure that Machiavellism is the order of the day, and politics in the West and in the East everywhere now is under the influence of Machiavelli, and he was the best describer of the nature of the politics in the modern times. People do curse him, do reject him, do repudiate him, nevertheless they are intimate followers of him, and this is everywhere the case.
So I very much agree with your comment that political democracy, especially in the third world, should be based on religious toleration. And in fact, I think it is important to note that in this country, in the 17th century, the greatest English philosopher, John Locke, was the proponent of both. In his article on religious toleration, he advocated that. And that played a very influential role, of course, in the philosophers of the Enlightenment period in France and in America. But my question is this: do you think that religious toleration should be extended to heretic sects or heretic religions, for example, the Baha'is in Iran, or not?
Well, I mean, once we talk about religious pluralism, it includes all religions. We do not actually engage ourselves in theological issues as to the falsity or truth of any of these religions. You see, first of all, religion has got no definition, and I follow Campbell Smith in this particular field, who says that we have got religions rather than religion. So there is no nature to religion. And so far as there are believers in a particular religion, they have to be tolerated in a religious society, and this is the logical requirements of the thesis of religious pluralism.
Yes.
Then what is the source of law in a religious society according to you?
In a religious society, well, the source of the law are people, but since people are religious, therefore they, naturally base themselves on religious law. This is quite natural. It is not something to be ordered from high. It is not through any religious authority. It is because of the wish and the will of the people, if it is a religious society. And if it is not, then of course, then naturally again, they do not base their law on religion. Mind you, as the gentleman mentioned here, in the case of the Western society, the body of the society